Most activities that you set up in AssociCom are for all of your members, but sometimes you have activities that need to be restricted to just a certain set of members. For example, if you have a committee that wants to work together. So today I'm going to show you how to use the group feature in AssociCom to set up a private work area for a committee. The first thing that I'm going to do is go up to the Library tab here at the top, and I'm going to create a place for the committee members to store their files. Now we're using the group feature to do this inside AssociCom, and I already have a place for different groups to store their files, so I'm just going to come in and create a location for this new committee in this particular area. So I've selected group files on the left there, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click on this icon which indicates that I'm going to add a new folder to this area, and I'm going to assume that I'm setting this up for the event committee. So that's what I'll call the folder. So this folder will be used by default for members of the event committee to exchange documents and that sort of thing. Now once I've got that set up, I'm going to come up here to the Groups tab and I'm going to create a new group as well. Now, just the same way as with the library, you could have different folders for organizing things, so you can have different folders inside the group area as well to organize things. And what I've done is I've created, as you can see here, a folder for storing all of the different committees that I'm going to set up. Now, I'm only going to have one today, but you can imagine that you might have quite a few. In fact, you might even have one set up for different years and that sort of thing. Now, the way that you create these folders is just using this same add folder icon that we did within the library area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my committee folder, and you'll notice that it doesn't have anything in it right now. So our event committee is going to be the first one. I'm going to click on the Create New Group button. I've got an image that I've got stored away for this already, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab that image off of my desktop. And you can see that it's uploaded. There's the image that I'm going to be using for this group. The name of the group, of course, is just the event committee because that's who we're setting it up for. Description is, this is a private shared workspace for the members of the event committee. Now, I've got three settings down here at the bottom. The first of these is very important. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a private group. And what that means is that the contents of the group, anything that's happening inside that group, can only be seen by the members of that group itself. So this is really what differentiates this kind of committee setup from perhaps having a group where people were going to be talking about a book or something like that, which doesn't need to be private. As with privacy, it's usually the case that a committee is composed of specific people who have been chosen to be on that committee, so we're going to indicate that we want this group to be by approval so that not anyone can join, but you have to be approved. And finally, we've got the notion of whether library items can be added to this group by any member of the group or whether they have to be approved. Now, since I'm going to assume that the committee is working reasonably collaboratively, I'm just going to leave this library group as open. And what that means is not that anybody can add anything to this, but that members of the group can add things into this group. And I click Done. Now you can see that my group has come into existence. You'll notice this little icon up here, this little eye symbol. This indicates that this is a private group, and that's your kind of visual way of knowing that this is a group that only certain people can participate into. Now that I've got the group set up, I can send out email to all of the members of the committee. I can give them the URL for this group, and they will be able to come in and click on the join button there. Now the reason that's disabled for me is because I'm already in the group, being the owner of the group, but then they could click on that join link and they would be able to start participating and using all of the features of this group. And just as a quick reminder, be able to send out announcements to people in the group, have discussions, exchange files, look and interact with other members of the group directly, do questions, and even polls for getting feedback. So those are all the types of activities that the members of the events committee would be able to use here inside AssociCom.